Hi, this is Carla Pendleton. In the last clip that I produced, and I am doing my own videography again, so apologies. I showed you how to lay in these leaves with your fingers. Now I'm going to show you how to detail them with a brush, and I do like to use the German natural hair for this process. I'm using a 1/2 inch brush. Maybe you can kind of see in relationship to those leaves that I've laid in about the size of the brush I want. I'm loading with medium. Actually, it's a dirty medium. In this case, it's not clean. And I'm going to pick up just a light load of the mallard, which is my secondary color. And I'm going to tilt these leaves so that the tips of them will be pointing at me. The next thing I'm going to do is lay my brush down, full brush, pressure all the way across. Very shallow C strokes. You can see I'm kind of getting a little bit of a veining pattern in there as I go. So here's the stroke. Let me see if I can demonstrate it a little bit better against the white china. Very shallow. You're pulling those C strokes out and around to form the edge of the leaf and then bring it into the tip. I'm going to run into my other leaf here if I'm not careful. Okay? Then let's do that. Let's repeat that process on this leaf. Shallow C strokes. You're veining at the same, or laying in some side veins at the same time and pulling to a tip. Now you're going to rotate the piece around so that now the stem edge is pointing towards you. I'm going to wipe my brush against the towel. I'm not blotting it. I'm just wiping off excess paint because I don't want to pick up too much paint on this pass, but I do want a moist brush. And on this pass, the second side, I'm going to lay my brush down and pull in a comma stroke, like that, to form the tip, and a little bit different shape on the left side than on the right. Same thing over here, a comma stroke, overlap them, pull them down towards where the stem would connect. So the center vein would be lying right here. So that stroke looks like something like this. Commas overlapping one another, pulling up towards the tip. So we have a little bit of a different angle on this now, and that's what we want to do with these leaves. We want them to make a little bit different look to them. Now I have a perfect place to put a turn back right in here because I've got that kind of concave edge there. So let's go ahead and wipe that out. Sketch it in first with your wipeout tool. Then I tend to point it sideways and just drag my brush through it to give myself a little bit more of a highlight there, and then maybe use the pick, wipe out again to change this edge a bit along here. And I'm going to give it a little bit of a matching scallop. Now, it's easy to do it this way when you're working against the white china. My last step would be kind of clean this edge up a little bit if I'm working against the white china. But if I've got a background, I would work a bit differently. I would start my highlights on the inside edge of the leaf and come around like that. And then pull very light strokes. And I'm wiping the brush after each stroke, just lightly wiping it, not blotting it, on the towel. And that way I take off some highlights, I get the shape of my leaf, I get some detail in there, and if I want further highlight, just to make this one look a little bit different from its neighbor, I can go ahead and maybe put a stronger highlight on the tip and just soften like that. Could even show a little bit of veining over here, but I don't want to get too much detail on that left side. Okay, so we've got the detailing laid in with a brush, the highlights, and now we're ready to go back and start carving on our background. There's where the stem would come in on that one. Here's where the stem will come in on this leaf. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll continue this in another short clip. Bye now, and God bless.